Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm Strategic Lead for Violence Against Women and Girls in Haringey. My role involves driving forward the strategic approach within the borough, so that's things like producing a violence against women and girls strategy, as well as working with lots of different departments across the statutory and voluntary sector to drive improvement across violence against women and girls. I'm also responsible for commissioning all of the services that support women and girls in Haringey. So I've engaged with Ascent services since the very start, and also since it's been recommissioned I've been working in Haringey. So I work very closely with, for example, on the Ending Harmful Practices Partners. We have a Harmful Practices Working Group in Haringey, and that's co-chaired by Imoche and Laws, who drive forward the work in Haringey around harmful practices across all of the different strands. We also work very closely with partners around prevention, so we've worked to ensure that the schools that have been worked with have been not just the usual suspects, but schools that might have been a bit challenging. So for example, referring the Ascent partners towards SEND schools, or schools, we have some specialist schools in Haringey that work with deaf children, for example, and trying to get those schools to engage. We work very closely with the specialist refuge strand, so for example we fund a contribution towards the Naya Complex Needs Refuge, and we also work around the support and counselling side, so we refer lots of women to the Ascent counselling and support services. And we engage with the supporting organisations strand, so I've worked with Women's Resource Centre to deliver training around commissioning. We've also hosted a number of surgeries and training and events in our borough, so we work very closely with Rights of Women, for example, who delivered the equality law training in Haringey. And we also work closely with other partners around different discrete bits of work as well. Engaging with Ascent is really beneficial for local authorities, and I think the crucial thing is about ensuring that there's join up so there isn't duplication of services. It's really beneficial, especially in these times of cuts and welfare reform, because local authorities get less and less funding. So ensuring that we can work with partners who have been commissioned externally is really important to make sure that we get the best for the women, for women and girls, victim survivors in our borough. It's crucial for local authorities to have good relationships with specialist services that support victim survivors of VAWG, not just for commission services but also for driving forward some of the more strategic elements of work. So as I said, we have a Harmful Practices Working Group. We also have an advisory group in Haringey which is made up of directors of specialist organisations, and that really helps to steer the work around violence against women and girls. We also ensure input into our commission services, so making sure that throughout the commissioning cycle we have engaged with voluntary and community sector organisations, because they drive forward innovation. They've existed for a long time, they have very good reach and support and work with survivors, so making sure that survivor input's also included within commissioning is really, really vital. So it's hugely important to work with the voluntary and community sector.